the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have all the components. The major components would be the user's manual. The user manual is very user-friendly. It's actually painted by numbers and comes in 3 different languages: English, French, and Spanish. This is the main unit, or the nucleus, if I can say, of the Opura unit. You'll notice in the back that we have a small air filter. This air filter, because the unit will probably last you for about 5 years and it has a 1-year warranty, this filter you can probably change after 1.5 years or 2 years. And we actually supply you 2 extra ones in the little packet. The only time that you would change it is if you find that it's dirty. And if you don't want to use a new one, you can always use the sink, wash it out, and then put it back in when it's dry. You have your silicone tubing, which is approximately 3 feet long. You cut it to the right length, and I'll show you that during the installation. You have a patented end if you have a reverse osmosis system. You have the end that you must attach if it's a male end or fitting. And then you also have the female end or fitting, which you can attach to the male end to make sure you have the proper connection. And last but not least, you have your power supply. This unit will only use up to 6 watts of electricity when the water is turned on. And the LCD lighting, or LED lighting, excuse me, will illuminate and allow you to know exactly whether your unit is working properly or not. Now for the installation. We have on the back some Velcro that I've already put on the back of the unit, but you can also see the area where you can use for a nail or a screw, which we also supply in your Opura package. We've already put the Velcro on the wall, so what we're going to do is just affix the unit to the wall right now. And what's very important is to make sure that the unit itself is above the faucet. We could actually sit the unit here if we wanted to, but we choose to put it in this area here because it's closer to the receptacle for the electricity. So what we'll do now is actually plug it in. We're not going to turn it on yet because we want to do some things at the end of the faucet to make sure that our fitting is correct. We've gone ahead and done a few steps just to get things prepared. This is an aerated faucet, and if I turn it over, you can see every aerated faucet there's a small little area where we can affix our patented end from Opura. We have designed it, or actually placed it in this way, so that you are able to see the demonstration more properly. Ideally, if you're doing the installation in your own home, you want the receptacle or the vacuumed end to actually be pointing to the back of the faucet so you can run your tubing this way. With that being said, the first thing we want to do after we have a proper fitting here is to make sure that the vacuum end is working properly. And the way we do that is we turn the water on, make sure there is significant pressure or enough pressure. If you don't have enough pressure, the water will be opaque. When you turn the pressure up a bit, you'll see that there's more air going into the faucet, and the reason being is it's being pulled in by this small end. If you put your finger over the end and the water becomes opaque like we see it right now, it means it's working properly. It means it's creating a proper vacuum, and that is key. If you're not seeing this, it means you don't have a good seal here, and you can always buy some plumber's tape and use that to create the proper seal. The next thing we want to do is measure our tubing to make sure we have the proper length to go from our actual unit, our Opura unit, all the way to the end of our faucet. The best thing to do is to always have a small pair of scissors after you've measured the length, and you can use it to cut various lengths to make sure you have the least amount of distance between your Opura unit and your faucet. So let's attach the silicone tubing. Very simply, place it on the end of the Opura unit, fix it back to the wall. Using the hooks that had been supplied in your package, affix your tubing to the wall so it looks neat, tidy. Then of course, affix your tubing to the end of the faucet. It's very important that if this is pointing in the back, which it should be, that when you actually place it to the back of the faucet, that this end has a bit of a bend pointing up, so that you don't have any infiltration of water going back into the faucet. Because if that happens, then you will not be able to create a vacuum, because the air won't be able to breathe and get inside the water. So you won't be creating aqueous ozonated water. So now that we have it set up, we are going to turn on the Opura unit, and you have to press and hold for 2 seconds, and then you will hear a beep. Now that it is turned on, you can see you have a red and yellow light. When we actually turn the faucet on and we start producing aqueous ozonated water, you will see the color of the LED lighting change from red and yellow to green and yellow. So here we go. Now that you see the green light, you can also smell the water. So just by putting your hands in the water like this for 10 seconds, we are removing the bacteria, 99.9%. Streptococcus, Salmonella, E. coli, C. difficile. I love the feeling of this water, and not only that, you will be able to smell the water, and it smells just like fresh cut grass or fresh rain. Now, because it makes harsh chemicals and chlorine inert, as you can see, when I put my hand in the water passes over my hand. But at the same time, my skin becomes very soft and moisturized. Because the pH of the water, of any tap water, is typically 7 to 7.5. This increases the pH level to 7.8, 8.2. Therefore making it more alkaline. So there are a variety of things that we can use the water for right away. Now, as you can see, it took probably about 2.5 minutes to actually hook the unit up. Now we can start using it for things like disinfecting. The good thing about disinfecting by using Opura water is that it leaves no residue. At the same time, by using Opura water, you're actually making your skin more healthy. To disinfect, you can also use Opura, like I mentioned before, for your fruits and vegetables. US FDA says if you are producing at least 1.2 parts per million of ozone in water, it only takes 3 to 5 minutes for fruit, vegetables, meat, fish, and chicken to actually remove the bacteria, enzymes, and, if need be, pesticides. So, 3 things that I mentioned right away. Hands, washing fruits and vegetables, being able to wash the counter. By doing all of these things, it's really hard work, isn't it? So hard and so difficult that I think I'm going to have a glass of water and quench my thirst. But before I do that, I think our plant, which has been an amazing product, deserves a little bit of the Opura ozonated water as well. With the extra oxygen, I'm sure it's going to really appreciate it. Opura water. So refreshing. And the great thing about it, because it has the extra oxygen, it actually creates an aerobic environment in my system, and at the same time, it's giving me more energy. Amazing. It's a product that everybody should have in their home. Thank you very much, and I look forward to continuing part 2 of the presentation at a later date. Bye for now.